Hey guys, what's up? My name is Jessica from the Jinx Cosplay. I'm here today at Collectors Marketplace here in Phoenix, and we're gonna find out more about what they got going on here. I have with me today David, and he is the Senior Manager of Collectors Marketplace. He's also responsible for purchasing anime merchandise, as well as some buying. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So we want to know more about Collectors Marketplace. Can you tell us the history and how it got started?
Yes, the owner, Neil, has been a collector his whole life, and his mother was an antique dealer, and her mother was an antique dealer, so it was really in his blood. So he started buying and selling comics when he was in high school.
Oh, wow.
Not just to his friends at school, but also around town, and then he opened his first store, which was Planet Comics, right after he graduated.
Awesome. I remember that place. And what year do you know what year that was?
Ooh, that was 1990.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then what happened?
Ooh, and then certain things happened, like Pokemon,
Yes.
which I advised him to get into, and it completely exploded
Yes.
the first time.
Right.
And then that did so well, we expanded to a second store, which was more anime themed, because this was the first time anime was having a surge in popularity as Dragon Ball Z was on the air.
Right, exactly. Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, they were on public television. Yeah, so when did Collectors Marketplace open up?
Who, after he sold one of the stores, he closed down the other because post 9/11 there had been a real hit to business. And so he was just doing conventions and online sales for a time.
Okay.
But then everyone got into online sales, so it was time to open up another store. And he was inspired by the Frankensons location in Los Angeles, which had a large location
Wow,
with
nice.
lots of vendors subletting.
Okay.
And then that went over quite well, so well that all of the vendors who were subletting opened their own stores and moved out.
Oh, I see.
So now the Collectors Marketplace is all just our stuff.
Okay. And this place opened in what year?
This place opened in 2011.
Wow.
So we're about to enter our 10th anniversary.
That is incredible. What would you say is the most consistently in demand?
The only constant is change, but some things remain popular throughout the years. Star Wars is, of course, a big one,
Yes.
especially
absolutely.
the original Kenner 1970s and 80s stuff.
So we're talking about those little figures on the cards?
Yes, 3 3/4 inch figures with only 5 points of articulation.
Right. That is amazing. And how would you describe in what condition you prefer them to be in?
We prefer to have them, period, because the demand is so great
Wow.
and the supply is so low. Because now a loose figure and its gun are equally valuable.
That's amazing.
On the package is, of course, much better, but extremely rare these days, especially here, because the population in the 1970s and 1980s was much lower.
Right, right.
Everyone moves out here, and they sell their stuff before they move out here instead of after.
Yes, absolutely.
So we've got millions of people wanting a population, or wanting things from when we only had hundreds of thousands of people out here.
Cool. So, David, tell me, what do you think has changed with toys and toy makers over the years?
Well, the kids who grew up loving toys from the 70s and 80s are now running the show.
Right.
So, like Super 7 literally says, we grew up loving this, this, and this. No one made what we want, so we're making it ourselves.
That's amazing.
And they are.
Right, right. So, and then how have collectors changed along with it?
Well, collectors who grew up loving this stuff now have a lot more money.
Right. We have careers and jobs and paychecks.
And so we want to recapture our childhoods and spend a lot of money to do so. So even common things like Star Wars will have the Black Series figures from Hasbro,
Right.
or Studio Series Transformers, or the gigantic Unicron project that they've
Right.
done,
That's amazing.
which is like $500+.
Wow. So there's a lot more toy makers making special editions, collector's editions. Are we seeing more of those now than we did maybe 20 or 30 years ago?
Most definitely, because a lot of them can be seen and hyped up and ordered directly on the internet.
Right, absolutely. And how has this last year affected the business at Collectors Marketplace and your events?
Well, events we've had to cut down on. We had to cancel our Tucson Toy Show and our Glendale Toy Show, and
Right.
unfortunately the Game On Expo. But now that things are lightening up, we hope to come back with that. We were able to do a couple outdoor events, such as our spring and Halloween anime festivals,
right.
because they were outdoors, and that was relatively successful, which is to say massively successful because
Right.
everyone was hungry to do something
Absolutely.
after all that time in lockdown.
And were you getting in less sales or more sales? What was going on with that?
This was our biggest year ever,
Wow.
ever.
And why do you think so?
Ooh, because this is the next best thing to a dealer's room since there are no conventions to go to.
Right.
So people had a lot of pent-up demand,
Uh-huh.
and they'd also been cleaning house and found stuff they wanted to sell, so our purchasing was the biggest ever.
Oh, that's amazing. And I know you guys out there are probably doing the same thing, cleaning your houses. So bring your stuff here if you've got stuff to share. So David, you are in charge of buying anime merchandise.
Yes, I hate to say it, but I was doing it before it was popular.
Awesome. So what are you most likely buying? What are you looking for?
Ooh, yeah, I hate to say anything, but anything. We do a lot of Gundam kits and Zoids and Macross, Robotech, all sorts of things. And a lot of people will buy more kits than they can manage,
Yep.
or the wife husband says, we need more room. So if you have unbuilt kits, we always like to see those.
Oh, there you go. And what kind of genres are really popular right now?
Ooh, yeah, mecha's always been popular since Gundam Wing was on Toonami back in 2001. People have very fond feelings for that, and Zoids.
Okay.
So,
And how about different animes? Which one would you say were probably the most popular in terms of people buying merchandise, other than Gundam?
My Hero Academia is always big, and of course, older classics like Black Butler, Dragon Ball Z is always the king,
Awesome.
and now Demon Slayer is absolutely huge.
Oh yeah,
Since
I
it
see
was-
that everywhere. Especially it just came out in theaters with a movie, right?
And it was the biggest movie ever in Japan. It
Wow.
outstripped Titanic and Princess Mononoke.
That's incredible. And tell me about what was probably the most unique thing you've seen in the store?
Ooh, someone brought in a collection of Star Wars autographs.
Oh wow.
And there was one that was a picture that was signed by Alec Guinness, but it was not signed by Alec Guinness. They had found a postcard written to a fan in about 1978 where he was talking about what he was doing now that Star Wars was finished.
Oh wow.
And
That's
they
amazing.
just took a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi and cut out a small square to only expose the signature.
Wow, that is incredible. And is there anything else?
Ooh, at Game On Expo, someone sold us a original Toys R Us Mario display from Super Mario Brothers.
I've seen that Mario because Game On is one of my favorite events, and you guys now own it.
Yes,
That is incredible.
because his wife said, it's Mario or me.
Oh no. And David, what is your most favorite item that's come through these doors?
Ooh, it was an original 1974 Dungeons & Dragons white box set, the first
Wow.
Dungeons & Dragons set ever made.
And how much did you sell it for?
Ooh, we sold it for $600.
There you go, guys. If you got $600, you can get this awesome piece, but it's gone, which is great because they've sold it. David, thank you so much. That's a lot of amazing information. I know people out there are wondering, I've got some stuff. What is on your most wanted list right now to buy?
It's a big list, but if you have Star Wars, especially 1970s or 80s vintage, loose or in the package, we definitely like to see that. And all your other 80s favorites, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Transformers Generation 1.
Awesome, wow.
Yeah. And
And-
we love anime and older stuff and newer stuff. So pretty much our short list of things we don't need
What are
are
those?
porcelain dolls,
Uh-huh.
because they're creepy. And sports cards, because we're all nerds here and don't know sports that well.
True.
And then Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies, gotcha. So there you go, guys. So you don't have to waste your time bringing in things that they don't want. But if you've got those on the most wanted list, bring them in to Collectors Marketplace here in Phoenix. All right, guys, thank you so much. My name is Jessica from The Jinx Cosplay. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at The Jinx Cosplay. And David, where can we find you guys?
You can find Collectors Marketplace at collectorsmarketplace.com, and we too are on Facebook and Instagram on Collectors Marketplace.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.